Alright, I've got a Kolpin universal plow mount I'm going to put on my four-wheeler. I've never done it, so I may or may not make a mistake or two. Things I've seen online are pretty simple, and some people lift their four-wheeler up so that it's on one end, so it's resting on the back tires. I don't have a means of doing that, nor am I strong enough, so I'm going to try it this way. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the plow mount that looks like this, and I'm going to find where I want it under here. I've decided I'm going to put mine right about here, about midway, about 8 inches behind the front tire. That's where the plow is going to sit, and then I'm going to put bolts right about there and up there a little ways. Kind of might have to twist a little bit. There's different ways you can do it. You can take the skid plate off and put it straight onto your frame, or you can put it on the outside. I opted to put it on the outside. That's what I think is going to work best for me. So I'm going to drill holes here and here, oversized holes where the U-bolts are going to go. That way they have a little bit of wiggle room going back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real fast. You can see this, if it's defined or not. There's a little ridge right here. That's where my actual frame is at. I'm going to drill a good distance away from it on both sides. Like I said, I'm probably going to make 2 or 3 little lines right here so that I can have a little bit of flexibility where my actual U-bolt is going to go. Alright, so I've got a couple drilled in there. I'm going to try and widen them out a little bit. Make sure not to hit your frame. You don't want to damage it at all. This is just the route I'm taking. I don't know if it's the best, but it's what I'm doing. Alright, so I got one on this side, now I'm going to do one on this side as well. I'm going to skip that part, I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done, that way you don't have to watch me drill. Before I start doing that, you're going to want to make sure there's nothing there that you're going to ruin. I've taken my skid plate off before, I know there's nothing there, I've looked at it before, but you're going to want to make sure that way you don't puncture something that could end up being a costly repair. Alright, so I've got it taken care of right here where I can slide my U-bolts back and forth. It looks kind of ugly. I'll come back and I'll sand that off. So what I'm going to do is go to the other side of the bike. I'm on the right hand side right now. I'm going to go to the left side and do the same thing, making sure not to hit anything. On my forward right here, my transmission's just right here. You don't want to drill into that. So let me get to the other side and I can get that done. Alright, I've done the other side. What I'm going to do now, so this is the first one I drilled, and so my attachment where my plow mount will go is going to go something kind of like that. What you need to do, you need to find the front of your bike where the other part of the frame's at, where you're going to want to have your plow attached to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go find where I want that at, and I'm going to start drilling again. I'll get back on when I'm actually attaching the plow mount. Got all my holes drilled. I got them drilled out there, 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 and there. They're not real pretty. I don't have the right tools. So I just used my drill and used an oversized drill bit and kept on drilling until I got it kind of broken out. What you're going to do next, you're going to put your U-bolts like that. It'll come with 4 different ones. You're going to want to try them on before. You see there's 2 different kinds of square ones and 2 different round ones. Mine are a round frame, so that's what I'm using. So I'm going to put my U-bolts there, and I'm going to push this up, put them in right there. Probably put my U-bolts on, then I will put the plate on, put this piece on right here, and then screw it on a little bit, not tighten it down till I'm ready. I had to take, well, I didn't have to, but I took this is my brush guard, or my plastic skid plate that I took down. It was a little bit easier to drill on versus having it sucked up against the four-wheeler. So I'm going to put the U-bolts in real fast. It's going to take me 2 hands. Before you put this piece on, you're going to want to put this bolt in through here. That way when you put it on the skid plate, you have access to it. You're going to have a bolt that goes on, or nut that goes on this side. So make sure to put this on before you do that. My one bracket on, I ended up switching to the copper one instead of the silver ones. They fit a little bit better. Don't forget to put this little plate on. Screw it on. It took me a little bit of work. I had to kind of shift around. It was actually a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. So don't get too frustrated. Just realize it's going to be a little bit of work, possibly. It's not too bad though. I tightened them just enough that they would stay up, hold my nuts. This is pretty. I've got this plate on, gap, and this plate on. When it comes to putting the plow mount on, you've got a bunch of different holes right here lined up, so you can line up your big copper bolt and your big copper bolt right here. It took quite a bit of finagling getting things on. I still didn't get the bracket on. I don't know if you can see this little bracket right here in between these bolts. I didn't get it on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to screw down and kind of hopefully bend this plate a little bit, and then I'll be able to put that mount on. Anyways, so I'm going to put my mount on now right here. Show you how to do that. Alright, so I'm under my four-wheeler. These, you got to hit them with a hammer if you need to, side to side. Make it so that the holes line up with the holes on here. I got lucky and my bolt holes lined right up the way I put it on. You just screw these on and then screw this one on, and after you do that, then you're all set. Get her tightened up, snug it up against there, up to the top. Tighten all your bolts down here, here, on the other side. That's how you put it on. That's how I put it on anyways. Like I said, it's a little bit harder than it looks, but it works fine now.